Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Environment of Palau, Honorable Stephen Victor, also Chair of Alliance for Small Islands Development States, GF Programming Lead, Dr. Fred Balls, distinguished representatives of the Global Environment Facility, operational focal points, senior government officials, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Dolabina and Isambulabinaka. On behalf of the government and people of Fiji, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our show. Begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of these lands where we gather this morning. Viangwana Bono Nanji, Urlebina Bachulebu, Viangwana Chinanji. Nabuno Betoro Rau, Urlebier Nabula, Naviangwana Chiambeto. Drania Busao Yake, Nabimbulo, Itoke Naua. Fiji is honored to once again host the Pacific Islands Expanded Constituency Workshop. Nearly a decade since convening this gathering, its return reflects our enduring commitments to environmental stewardship, sustainable development, and regional solidarity. We warmly welcome our Pacific colleagues and development partners whose collaboration strengthens implementation of GEF-supported programs and reinforces our collective responsibility for a resilient Pacific future. I am advised by the GEF operational focal points that this workshop comes at a pivotal time as countries begin to co-designing programs for the GF9 cycle, while replenishment negotiations continue to shape future support to small island developing states, particularly within a constrained global financing environment. Ladies and gentlemen, over the landscape has shifted significantly. In May 2024, the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea determined that greenhouse gas emissions constitute marine pollution, placing a binding duty on states to act in accordance with the best available science. In July last year, the International Court of Justice issued its advisory opinion on climate change, affirming that states have legal obligations to protect the climate system for present and future generations. This is more than jurisprudence. It signals a decisive turning point. Environmental stewardship is no longer solely a moral responsibility. It is a legal imperative, and one the Pacific has consistently championed with clarity, conviction, and credibility. Ladies and gentlemen, across our region, we witness intensifying environmental pressures. Rising seas threaten coastlines, while degradation of terrestrial and marine livelihood economies. The urgency is unmistakable. Our economies remain fundamentally nature dependent. In Fiji, tourism is our largest export earner, and aviation is an essential enabler, connecting island nations to global markets, sustaining jobs, and supporting trade and investment. Yet, both sectors rely entirely on healthy reefs, protected coastlines, state weather systems, and preserved biodiversity. Every investment in climate adaptation, environmental protection, and sustainable resource management is therefore an investment in economic security, connectivity, and long-term natural resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you one concrete example of what sustainable development looks like in practice. The Nawoliku project Fiji's largest tourism development initiative for Levu, financed by the World Bank. It is a long-term investment designed to build a resilient, inclusive, and environmentally responsible regional economy. At its core, the Levu is about putting in place the foundations for growth that lasts. It combines climate-resilient infrastructure with a 25-year integrated tourism master plan so that development is guided by evidence, sequencing, and clear vision for where Levu can be in a generation. It is strengthening air and land accessibility, improving transport links, and connectivity to markets, services, and opportunities. At the same time, it is investing directly in people through capacity building for more small and medium enterprises, community-based tourism organizations, and local operators so that communities are not spectators to tourism growth, but active participants and beneficiaries. And through small-scale community infrastructure grants, we are supporting practical improvements that raise the quality of visitor experiences while keeping ownership in local hands. It's being delivered with strong environmental and social safeguards. Responsible land stewardship and stakeholder consultation are embedded from the outset because we will not trade away our ecosystems for short-term gains. We are committed to development that strengthens livelihood and makes Levu distinctive. Aviation. These are precisely the investments we seek. Initiatives that expand opportunity, improve connectivity, and ownership and climate resilience. More than 3 decades, the Global Environmental Facility has remained a cornerstone for countries confronting environmental challenges. As the financial mechanism for major environmental conventions, the GEF has provided over $20 billion in grants and mobilized more than $100 billion in co-financing globally, enabling countries to pursue low-carbon, climate-resilient development pathways. For the Pacific, the partnership has been transformative. GEF financing has supported adaptation measures, biodiversity conservation, ocean and fisheries management, sustainable land use, and chemicals management. These initiatives strengthen institutions, empower communities, and safeguard the natural assets that underpin our economies, cultures, tourism industries, and food security. For Fiji, GEF support of approximately $30 to $35 million has advanced flood-resilient infrastructure, mangrove restoration, and watershed management. Together with partners such as the World Bank, this assistance enables us to integrate risk-informed planning, climate science, and safeguard policies into national development strategies, including transport systems and aviation infrastructure, vital to island connectivity. Ladies and gentlemen, as we convene, we are not merely discussing projects. We are shaping the resilience and prosperity of the Blue Pacific continent. This workshop provides an opportunity to ensure GEF resources align with Pacific priorities, strengthen country ownership, and deliver measurable, lasting impact. This platform allows us to reflect candidly on implementation challenges and lessons learned. Coordination among political and operational focal points, enhance readiness for the next programming cycle through bankable, country-driven projects, and secure tangible outcomes for our people through safer communities, stronger livelihoods, reliable connectivity, and healthier ecosystems. Ladies and gentlemen, Our commitment must remain unequivocal. Every dollar for environmental and climate finance must translate into real results and communities while empowering women, youth, and indigenous people. In Fiji, all major tourism, infrastructure, and aviation developments undergo climate risk assessment and community consultation to ensure protection of both people and environment. Unity is greatest strength. Our this vision through the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent and the call for an ocean of peace founded on cooperation. By speaking collectively, we amplify our voice. Through this workshop, let us deepen coordination, accelerate implementation, and ensure GE programming reflects the priorities, realities, and aspirations of our island nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage all delegates to engage openly, actively in the coming days. Share experiences, address constraints openly, and strengthen partnerships. We must move decisively from dialogue to delivery. Our challenges demand it. Our communities expect it, and future generations depend on it. On behalf of the Fiji government, I thank the GEF Secretariat, implementing agencies, development partners, and all delegates for your commitments to environmental sustainability across the Pacific. We are honored to host you and trust you will experience the solidarity, hospitality, and shared purpose that define our Gavoka level, and I wish you all productive deliberations and a pleasant stay in Fiji. Thank you.